audible.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Okay, so what we have discussed in the previous week, I think in the previous week, uh, have we done with Euler-Toshan function? Right, right. Okay. So today we are going to start with one more theorem, a small theorem, that is Fermat's theorem. And then I'm going to start with multiplicative inverse. If you know how to find, then it's okay. Then we'll start with the RSA, right? Otherwise, we can do some examples. Okay, just let me open my notes. Okay, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So the Fermat's theorem, again, it is going to useful for dealing with this exponential modular exponential functions, right? So let us just go through it. Very easy, and I have some examples to show you, so we can do that also, and it will be easy for you to apply whenever required, right? Okay, so Fermat's theorem, what it states, let us just go through this definition and then we'll do the examples, right?
मैम recording start
Yes, yes. हाँ हो गया, start. Okay, so the Fermat's theorem state that if P is a prime number and A is a positive integer which is not divisible by P, then I can write like this, that is A raised to P minus 1 congruence to 1 mod P. Okay, now we know this concept, right? Congruence, modular congruence, we know very well now, right? So if A is an integer and P is a prime number, I can represent it like this. Okay, if A is not divisible by P. Okay, so here one example is given. I need to check whether this P equal to 5 and A equal to 2. If these two values are given to you, does the Fermat's theorem hold for this two value? That I need to check. What I'll do, I will just take the equation, that is A raised to P minus 1 congruence to 1 mod P, right? I will put the values and I will verify whether P and A values, if put in this equation, is correct or not. Okay. So first of all, I need to check. See, the condition was what? P should be prime number and A is a positive integer. So P is a prime number, yes. A is a positive integer, yes. And it should not be divisible by P, yes. So three of the conditions are true. Now I would check this or by putting this value, right? That is A equal to 2 and P equal to 5. So I will get this 2 raised to 5 minus 1 congruence to 1 mod 5. 2 raised to 5 minus 1 is 2 raised to 4, right? And 1 mod 5. So 16 congruence to 1 mod 5. Now if I simplify this equation, that means what? If I divide 16 by 5, the remainder should be 1. If you are getting remainder 1, that means yes, Fermat's theorem holds for both P equal to 5 and A equal to 2. Easy enough? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now you need to
reminder one આવે એટલે જ satisfy થાય Fermat
yes,
theorem.
yes, yes, because this is modular congruence. right? If you are having values like this, how can you just convert this in equal to format? So that is, if I do this 16 mod 5, then it should be equal to 1, right? So if remainder is 1, by dividing this value by this value, then you can say that yes, Fermat's theorem holds. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
This kind of 2 marks question can also be asked, or else you can apply this, as I told you, that whenever you are dealing with the modular exponentiation, you can use this theorem also, right? We have seen many, I think 2-3 tricks that how to solve the large power values whenever given with the modulo, right? So this is also one of the trick you can say. Okay, now I'm having two examples, that is p equal to 13 and a equal to 11. So first of all, check p is prime or not, a is positive integer or not, and it is not divided by p, and check whether you are getting the remainder 1 or not. Okay, so just put the values in the equation and let me know. We just need to check whether the Fermat's theorem hold or not.
Yes, ma'am. One ही आता है.
1 आता है.
हाँ, ma'am.
Everyone
Yes,
is
ma'am.
getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now check for the value p equal to 6 and a equal to 2.
नहीं होगा मैम, p प्राइम नंबर नहीं है.
Prime number nahi hai, right? And if we divide the 6 by 2, we are not going to get, whenever you put the values, you are not going to get remainder 1, right? So it is the Fermat's theorem do not hold for this. Okay. Now there's multiplicative inverse. Concept is going to be used in the RS algorithm also, and in the next algorithm, that is Rabin algorithm, Rabin crypto system. Okay. So how you are going to find the multiplicative inverse? Tell me.
मैम अगर हम लोग मॉड का प्राइम ले रहे होंगे, मतलब मॉड जिसके सामने ले रहे होंगे वो प्राइम होगा, तो ये थियरम सही हो जाएगा. e raised to p minus 2 would be our multiplicative inverse. But
No,
अगर मॉड
I'm
हम
not
लोग
talking about modular exponentiation right now. We are talking about multiplicative inverse only, right? See, if this is your simple value, simple number a, for any number a, the multiplicative inverse will be what? This. Or I can write like this also. Agree?
yes ma'am.
Right? So let us take a equal to 5. So 1 upon 5 is what? It's multiplicative inverse. Yes, now your answer comes that what if we are having modular operations, right? So when the real challenge comes, when you are having modular operations along with this congruence. Okay, it is not equal to right now. It is what? Congruence. Okay, so in that case, if you want to find the multiplicative inverse, what are the steps? Okay, that I need to find. So let us start with the examples only. This is given to you. Okay. The first example is 3 into something. I don't know what is it. So let's say 3 into x divided by, okay, congruence to 1 mod 5, right? Now, if you want to remove this, what I will do, I will check that what value I will put over here, so that if divided by 5, the remainder will be what? 1. Getting 3 into, now here it is not directly 1 upon 3. This is not going to work, okay? In this case, it was easy, as we are having what? Equal to sign. Now it is what? Congruence, right? So what I need to check, what value should I multiply with 3, so that if I divide it by 5, my remainder will be 1. This is the interpretation of the equation. Example. Getting everyone?
2.
Yes, if you multiply x with, sorry, multiply 3, or let's say x equal to 2. So 3 into 2, 6, that is divided by 5, remainder will be 1. So what we can say over here, that 2 is multiplicative inverse for 3 mod 5, or you can say, this is also possible, right? If here it is 3 is given, 2 is missing. So let's say 2 is given, then 3 is multiplicative inverse for 2 mod 5. That is also correct. Agree with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, so we'll quickly do some examples and then we'll move to the algorithm, RS algorithm, right? So here are two examples. If you can see, 2 into what? 1 mod 11, congruence to 1 mod 11. And 4 into what? 1 mod 5, congruence to 1 mod 5. So you just need to tell me this value x.
सेकेंड वाले में 6 आएगा और
उसमें 4 आएगा.
Right. If I multiply 6, so 6 2s are 12, divided by 11, you will get what? 1. And 4 4s are 16. 16 divided by 5, you will be getting 1. Okay, so yes, it is correct. How about this?
5 more 10, 10 to 15. Not possible. આનું ઇન્વર્સ પોસિબલ નથી.
Possible nathi, right? Everyone agree with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the conclusion over here is,
प्लस है कि मल्टीप्लिकेशन?
sorry, नहीं, multiplication ही है. Okay. So the conclusion is, if these two numbers, that is this 5 and this is, if they are not relatively prime, now we know what is relatively prime.
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean by relatively prime? Let's say GCD of 5 and 10 is not equal to 1. If this is the condition, then you are not going to get the multiplicative inverse for this equation. Okay. So if these two numbers are relatively prime, that means GCD of, let's say this was 2 and 11. Okay, so 2 and 11 is equal to 1. If this condition is true, then you'll be able to find the multiplicative inverse. But in this case, you'll be not able to find the multiplicative inverse, right? So this was the example for the, which is going to be used in both RS and Rabin. Okay, done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now A and B batch have already studied RS algorithm in the morning lab session, but then we need to go through for the बाकी के लैब में हो गया RS है या बाकी है?
No, ma'am, not done.
बाकी है मैम.
Okay, so we will understand the algorithm and then I'll give you 2 examples to do. Okay. Okay. So RSA is now, we know that it is asymmetric public key crypto system, right? Public key means what? We are going to use 2 keys over here, that is public and private. Now you just remember that, try to recall that diagram that we have discussed, that is asymmetric crypto system architecture, right? We know that the public key of the receiver is going to be used for the encryption and the public key of, sorry, private key of the receiver is going to be used for the decryption, right? So already we have done with the all the mathematical concepts which are required, okay? And as and when algorithm is going to be changed, if some new concept is going to be learned, that I'm going to teach you, right? But for now, for RS and Rebin, whatever is required, we have covered up all the mathematical concepts, right? So now you just need to understand the steps for the algorithm. I'll give you the values, you just need to put it and you just need to solve it, okay? So public key algorithm, we are having public and private key. Public key which is going to be used for the encryption and private key which is going to be used for the decryption. And this encryption decryption will see the equation. They are going to use what? Modular exponential. Okay. One more thing, the full form RS algorithm is named from Rebes, Shamir, Eldman. These 3 persons introduced this algorithm, this technique, and that's why the name is RSA, which is a block cipher. Now in the case of RSA, which is block cipher, plain text and ciphertext are the integers between 0 and n-1. Okay, so please note this down. Plain text and ciphertext are what? Integers between 0 and n-1. Clear up to this? This is just an introduction to the algorithm. Everyone getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let us just go through the steps and then we will be doing the examples. Okay. So the very first step is choose the large prime numbers. Select 2 prime numbers. So here we know how to select the prime number, right? We know how to check the primeness of the number, right? That was the very first concept that I have taught you in the lecture, right? Okay. So P and Q should be prime. You just select them. Next step is calculate the value of n. You just need to multiply this value of P and Q. Okay, so you'll be getting n. Okay. Calculate Euler-Torsson function pi n. You have assumed these P and Q, right? You have now calculated what? Value of n. Now you need to find the Euler-Torsson function of the same. Okay, so we know that for the prime number, what is the rule for the Euler-Torsson function? If I am getting this phi of 7, then I will be doing simply this 7 minus 1, that is 6. So Euler-Torsson function of 7 is what? 6. Why? Because 7 is the prime number. So can I write like this? P minus 1, Q minus 1. What is n? N is nothing but P into Q. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So can I apply that prime rule over here? Yes. The value of P and Q is prime. So I'll simply put P minus 1, Q minus 1. So now I have calculated phi of n also, right? The next step is to choose E. Okay, now E and N together will make what? Public key. Okay, so this is all we are doing for the key generation. This is all we are doing for what? Key generation. अभी तो हमने encryption decryption start नहीं किया है. Okay, so okay. I have choose prime number, calculated N, calculated phi N. Now choose E. If you want to choose E, there are two conditions. The first is GCD of E and Euler-Torsson function N should be 1. Okay, so you are choosing E, but then you need to fulfill two conditions. The first is उसका GCD phi N के साथ क्या होना चाहिए? 1 होना चाहिए. And one more condition, E should be between 1 and phi N. That is, it should be less than, E should be less than what? Greater than 1 and less than Euler-Torsson function of N. तो जो भी वैल्यू है उस हिसाब से आपको E चूज करना है, राइट? नाउ इट मे हैपन दैट इन एग्जांपल यू हैव गिवन E, सो वो अकॉर्डिंगली ही दिया होगा, या तो फिर व्हाट यू कैन डू, यू नीड टू अज्यूम PNQ लाइक दैट. ओके, इफ E is given to you. Is not given to you, you can choose any, but then it should fulfill these two conditions. We'll put the values in the this algorithm and we'll be getting in a better way. The next is calculate D. So you need to calculate D such that, again, you need to fulfill the condition. That is D congruent E minus 1 mod phi of N. Okay, now you can see over here it is congruence. Now can I write like this? 1 upon E है, so यहाँ पे can I write like this? ED congruence 1 mod phi N.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Okay. Then can I write ED mod phi N equal to 1? वही हमने किया ना अभी मल्टीप्लिकेटिव इनवर्स में, वही चेक किया ना, right? So here your Euler-Torsson function which we have discussed, that is covered, and in the fifth step the multiplicative inverse concept is also covered. So if you know these two concepts, yes.
Can you please explain like why D is equivalent to E inverse?
Sorry.
That
let me clear this out and let me explain. Okay, this is the equation which is given in algorithm. Okay, that value of D, E I have chosen. Now this D is going to be used for the private key. Okay, E and N together will make what? Your public key. And D and N together will make what? Your private key. Okay, so if E is given to you and we have calculated D, I need to calculate, and to calculate D I am having equation, that is D congruence E raised to minus 1 mod phi N. Now this is the equation which is given already. Okay,
ma'am, so like we have to calculate D such that the equation is satisfied, or the equation will already be satisfied?
No, we need to calculate the value of D such that the equation will satisfy. See, now E you have chosen. Let's say E was 7 or let's say E was 5. Okay, whatever I have chosen. So I need to multiply E in such a way that if I divide it with this number, phi N का जो भी value है, okay, phi into what I will do, that if I divide it with this number, I'll get the remainder 1. That is the interpretation. So this example we already studied in multiplicative inverse. Yes or no? Getting now, or shall I explain it again?
I still did not get it.
Okay. So do one thing. Let us just complete this 6 and 7 step. Okay, and then we are going to do the example only. So you'll be clear with this.
Okay.
Okay. Now the next step is to get private key. So as I told you, it is the combination of E and N. E that we have already chosen, N that we have calculated. Okay, how we have calculated N? That was N
P
equal
into
to
Q.
P into Q, right? E I have chosen with fulfilling two conditions, right? So that is your public key. Get the private key. The private key ke liye we are having this equation. I have put the values and then I come to know that yes, this is the value of D. So D and N together will make what? Private key. Okay. This was the step. These were the steps which we have done for the key generation. Okay, the very first step you can see. See, we have done the three algorithms in lab, that is Caesar cipher, Playfair, and Railfins, right? So both in Caesar and Playfair, the very first thing was what? We need to decide the key. Caesar may it is fixed, that is 3. Additive cipher, we need to decide. V means what? Sender and receiver both should agree on the common key. Why common key? It is symmetric key crypto system, right? So here also in asymmetric crypto system, the very first step is what? Key generation. Okay. Okay, we know that two kind of keys are going to be used, but then it should be generated. How it is going to be generated? So the user is going to decide. How is user is going to decide? He is choosing prime numbers P and Q at his own. Right? Now we are having, by putting all the values in the equations and all the steps in RS algorithm, we are able to find this two keys, public and private. What I'll do, now I will check the encryption and decryption equation. Okay. So let us go through the equation first and then example. Someone's mic is on, please mute it. Okay. So these two are the equation. Ciphertext C equal to plain text raised to E mod N. Now you can see E and N have been used. Yes or no? So public key. For what? To generate the ciphertext. Agree with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes.
Plain text raised to E mod N. Okay. Decryption के लिए P equal to, that is your plain text, C raised to D mod N. Now you can see over here, we are not using the same key. E is a different value, D is a different value. Okay. Now D is used for what? Decryption. What is it? Private key. Okay. So remember that particular sentence that we have discussed, that in asymmetric crypto system, we are going to use different key for encryption and decryption. Even though they are different, they are mathematically related with each other. Even though they are mathematically related with each other, getting one value from the another, we can say it is complicated. Why? Because the attacker has to try it again and again. I hope it is justified now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Moving ahead with the example. So this was the whole procedure, right? You keep noting down this, huh? I will not be able to share this. Okay. So the very first step, assume P and Q, which are prime numbers. Okay. In the real system, you can have the large numbers. To calculate this easily, we have selected the small numbers. Okay. But then anyhow, it is going to work with the large number also. If you are selecting it large, it will be complicated. If it is complicated, it will be very difficult for the attacker to get the key. Okay. Now, let us say P equal to 3 and Q equal to 11. Both are the prime numbers? Yes. We know how to check primeness of the number? Yes. Right? Okay, so yes, I can select P equal to 3, Q equal to 11. If you are selecting large number, then you should know how to check the primeness, right? Next is calculate value N. So N is simply P into Q, that is 33. Okay. Euler-Tochin function, we know P minus 1, Q minus 1, as P and Q both are the prime. So I can write this equation. So 11 minus 1, 3 minus 1, that is 10 into 2, that is 20. So this is the value of Euler-Tochin function. Okay. The next step is to choose E. This is simple, right? इतने steps समझ में आ गए सबको?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now choose the value of E. Okay. So what were the conditions to choose the value of E?
GCD of E and Euler-Tochin should be 1 and E should be
1.
less than and greater than 1.
Right.
Less than 2.
Euler-Tochin function, right? Okay. So I will find, I'm choosing, let's say E equal to 7. Okay. You can choose 5 also. Okay. But then you need to check the condition. You can choose 11 also, but then you need to check the condition. That is GCD of 7 and what is Euler-Tochin function? 20. Is 1 or not? Yes. Condition is fulfilled. So yes, I can use this 7. अगर 6 लेते हो तो 5 लेते हो तो GCD is not 1. So that is why E I have not choose 4 or 5 or 6 because the very first condition is going to be wrong. Getting?
Yes, ma'am.
1 is less than E is less than Euler-Tochin function. Okay. So 1 is less than 7 is less than 20. So this condition is also true if I choose E equal to 7. So yes, I can choose E equal to 7. Done everyone up to this?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now the next is you know the equation. Let me just, you know the equation, this D equal to congruence E raised to minus 1 mod phi n. Now I need to put the value of E over here and value of Euler-Tochin function, right? So let me solve this. Let me erase first and then solve it again. Okay. So D into E congruence 1 mod 5n. Okay, can I write like this? This is very simple. Can I write like this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
What is
ma'am.
the value of E over here? 7. So 7 into D congruence, modulo congruence 1 mod 5n. I know the value of 5n. So 7 into D congruence 1 mod, what is 5n? 20. So 20. Right? Now what I need to do is I need to put the value of D in such a way that if I multiply it with 7, I should get multiply it with 7 and divided by 20. Then I will get what? 1. Remainder should be 1. That you are getting now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So calculate the value of D in such a way that 7 into D karke if divided by 20 you are doing, the remainder should be 1.
3.
3.
3, ma'am.
Okay. So yes, 7 into 3 that is 21 divided by 20 you'll get the remainder 1. So the value of D is what? 3. Okay. Okay. Now I need to get what? Public and private key. So the public key is E, pair of En, and private key is Dn. Okay. So E we have chosen and we have calculated from the multiplication of the two numbers, prime numbers P and Q. So 733 is your public key and 333 is what? Your private key. Now we know the equation for the encryption and decryption.
Ma'am, so
Yes.
ma'am, attacker would be knowing the public key, that is ENN.
Yes, yes. If he is no, see,
Okay.
public key is what? Public key is known to everyone. Okay. Let's say if you are a receiver and the sender of the message. Okay. So how I am going to encrypt the message from your public key? So you just remember that structure in which we have said that yes, public key should be put in the repository which is known to everyone, but then private key is known to the receiver only. So even if I have encrypted with your public key, if I am a malicious user, I am not knowing your private key. Why? Because though E and D are connected with each other with these values. Okay.
So ma'am, basically everyone would be able to encrypt the
Yes, yes.
message, but only
The
the.
receiver is going to decrypt the message.
Okay, okay.
Why? Because this is known to the receiver only. Now
Yes, ma'am.
here it would be easy for an attacker if you have chosen. See, these two are very small numbers. 3 and 11 are the prime numbers which are very small. So if you do the reverse process, right? If you are trying, you may get this that D equal to what? 3. But if the numbers P and Q that have been chosen is large, then complexity will increase.
Ma'am, but still, if the if the n would be like greater, there would still be like not many amounts of D. Like
Not,
it can be possible to brute force,
yes,
right?
but yes, it is because what is happening over here, number of try and error will be increase if your P and Q is large. So it depends on you that how you are going to choose it, what numbers you are going to choose it for encryption and decryption. That is prime numbers P and Q. So larger the numbers, more will be the complexity. But still you
Ma'am,
can
so
check
if the
whether,
prime numbers are known, ma'am, so if the prime numbers are known, then 5 will always also be able to be calculated.
right.
So
And if the
if 5 is also
algorithm is,
calculated,
yes,
then
see, one more thing, if he is able to assume the algorithm also, that is also the thing, right? The attacker must know that yes, this algorithm is used, assume करना पड़ेगा उसे, जैसे हमने सीखा था for Caesar cipher, that he knows that key equal to 3, but then he also need to assume that the algorithm is what? Caesar cipher. Then he's going to complete the process for the decryption. That means प्लेन टेक्स्ट कैसे वो गेट करेगा, उसे अल्गोरिदम और की दोनों पता है तो कर पाएगा. सिर्फ की पता है, अल्गोरिदम अज्यूम नहीं कर पा रहा है तो भी तो प्रॉब्लम है. प्रोसीजर कैसे पता चलेगी, इक्वेशन कैसे पता चलेगा? If he is knowing algorithm RSA that this has been encrypted and decrypted with the RSA and the keys are this, then obviously it will be successful attack. Yes or no?
मैम बट RSA assume करना उतना हार्ड नहीं होगा ना, बिकॉज पब्लिक की ऐसे दो नंबर्स दे रहे तो फिर.
Yes, that's what I'm telling, that see, you just choose P and Q large numbers and then you try.
मैम बट लार्ज मतलब कितने लार्ज होंगे?
आप सोचो, वही तो मैं बोल रही हूँ. You think that what will be the value of P and Q and then how many attempts or what will be the complexity that this at least this amount of time is required for the attacker to assume the value or to get the original plain text.
क्योंकि P और Q मिल जाएगा फिर तो हम लोग D भी कैलकुलेट कर पाएंगे. वो
But
वो उतना
yes,
पार्ट इजी हो जाएगा.
yes, but then he
P and
has
Q
to
थोड़ा ही
assume
hard होता है.
RSA. he has to assume that the algorithm which is used for, see, me and Parth are, let's say, transferring the message to each other. Okay, or let's say I'm sending the message to Parth. We decided to use the encryption scheme of asymmetric crypto system, और उसमें भी हमने RSA. So am I going to tell you that yes, Pratham, we are going to use RSA encryption system?
Pratham, I think you are thinking that it is very easy to crack because right now you are studying RSA and your mind is just thinking about RSA.
Exactly.
But in real life, as an attacker, if I am an attacker, I will not know because there are multiple algorithms that are present and we don't know which
Exactly.
technique to use.
So that's what I'm telling you. The attacker needs to assume first of all the algorithm. As in when, if he is successful in assuming algorithm, let us assume that you are successful in assuming the algorithm that yes, madam and Parth are using RSA system. Okay, then what you will do? Then you know the public key E. Then you'll try to get the value of D. Once you are successful in getting the value of D, then you'll be able to get the plain text also. But the very first thing is what? Assuming the algorithm.
Okay.
Right.
Ma'am, what if you are exchanging as two key pairs and if you are exchanging two key pair consisting of N and E, then it is like easy
We are
to guess
not
that you are using
exchanging.
RSA.
Yeah. We are not exchanging this at all. This is
Public
known
key
to
to
everyone.
exchange, na?
No, we are not exchanging. It is known to everyone.
Okay.
This is known
ठीक
to
है.
you also. If you are a malicious user, but still you are in the channel, communication channel, right? You know this. You know the value
मतलब
of
हर
this
एक
too.
यूजर के लिए कोई एक
Yes.
पब्लिक की होगी, एसोसिएटेड यूजर से होगी, ना कि
Yes.
चैनल से.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Okay. And I insist you people to go through that particular theory again that we have written, because that was covered in the very first or second lecture. So it might happen that it is washed out from your brain, but then you can just go through it and then you can relate these things.
वो
Okay.
फिगर बनाई थी वही ना.
Why?
Okay.
And yes, we are having the attacks in possible attacks for the RSA algorithm also that we are going to cover. Okay.
Yes ma'am.
Okay.
And मैम रियल लाइफ में इतने छोटे प्राइम नंबर्स भी नहीं होंगे ना, वो तो बहुत बड़े होंगे आई थिंक.
Yes, and you will get the another value also for this E. अगर ये E and N आपको given है, so D आपको कब पता चलेगा? जब आपने इक्वेशन पता चलेगा. इक्वेशन कब पता चलेगा? जब आपने सही एल्गोरिदम चूज किया है, अज्यूम किया है एज एन अटैकर, राइट? I hope it is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now the encryption C equal to, you can take this, I have taken this plain text as M, you can take it as P also. So C equal to what? M raised to E mod N. Okay, now for the plain text also we are having one condition that we need to fulfill. So let us see what is it. Plain text should be less than value of N. Okay, in our case what is the value of N? 33, that we have 11 and 3, so the value of N was 33, right? So the value of M should be less than N. Okay, so I need to choose the plain text in such a way it is less than N, and as I have told you that it's a block cipher in which cipher and plain text will be what? Integer between 0 to N. Okay, so if I want to choose M equal to 31, I want to send 31 to Parth, right? So can I send it? Yes, because I am fulfilling the condition. What is the condition? It is less than N. Okay, so I will put now these into the equation. So 31 raised to 7, 31 is my plain text. Okay, so C equal to 31 raised to E is what? My encryption key, that is public key, 7 mod 33. If now you need to check this out, you can solve this with the different tricks. Okay, 31 की डबलिंग करते जाओ, वो भी सही है, या तो फिर 31 minus 33 करके -2 कर दो, तो भी सही है, राइट? सो -2�7 mod 33 क्या आएगा?
-29, so ciphertext will be 4.
-29, so ciphertext will be what? 4.
4.
Right? Now just take the equation for the decryption. That was plain text m equal to c raised to d mod n. That was your equation, right? So what I will do, I will put the value of ciphertext for the decryption. It is what? 4. D, what is the value of d? It is 3 mod 33. Okay, so you can see E से हमने encrypt किया, D से हम decrypt कर रहे हैं. Done? And definitely we are going to get 31.
मैम एक बार डिक्रिप्ट करके फिर से दिखाओ.
हाँ. What is the equation?
C raised to D mod n.
C raised to D mod n. So C we found that is 4. The value of D was 3 as we have calculated mod 33. So 4 raised to 3. This we can solve. We know how to solve the modular exponential. Yes or no? 4 square mod n करके भी कर सकते, directly 4.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ वो directly कर सकते हो, right? 4 raised to 3, that is
64.
64 and mod 33. So you'll be getting 31. So this was my plain text.
Ma'am, and if we had assumed D to be like different from 3, such that like
We have not assumed this. We have calculated it.
yes, ma'am, like calculated D
Yes.
to be different, it would still work, right?
Yeah, it is going to work. You
Like,
choose E. You choose E anything, but then it should be less than your Euler-Toshan function. Okay.
Yes.
That is 20. Okay. You can assume E equal to 19 also. See, you can assume E equal to 19. Why? Because it is less than 20. Yes. Is it a prime number? I mean, the GCD of 19 and 20 is 1. Yes. So you can use E equal to 19 also. If you
so
put
ma'am, but that would mean there would be multiple decrypt-
yes.
Exactly.
Okay. In that case, your key will be changed, nothing else. If you want to send this m equal to 31, again you just need to check ki m is less than n or not. If m is less than n, you can go for it. तो हमें 31 ही सेंड करना है, राइट? मुझे सेंड क्या करना है तुम्हें मैसेज 31. But if my value of E is 19, definitely I'll be having a different value of D.
Ma'am, but
So-
then isn't that a like flaw loophole?
No.
I mean, there can be multiple decrypting keys, so
Not only decrypting. See, we are connecting E and D. How I am calculating D? On the basis of, on the selection of E.
Yes,
If I
ma'am,
have
so
selected, yes, in this case I have selected 7. You can
yes.
have 11 also, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Okay, so 11 and 20, GCD is 1, which is less than 20. Yes, I can choose E equal to 11 also. So in that case, your public key will be 11 and 33. If you are using 19, 17, that is also working. That is also going to work. But then your public private key pair will be changed.
Ma'am, but let's suppose कि मैं attacker हूँ and I have assumed that the key algorithm uses RSA, okay, and मेरे पास ENN होगा, and I can definitely like calculate to Euler-Toshan of n, and मेरे पास E है, तो I can assume different Ds and the amount of
Yes.
decrypting keys would be less na. So
Yes,
it would be
but
much
then-
easier to use brute force then.
Yes. So brute force attack is possible or not, that we are going to check. But then again, see, we are working with the very small numbers. This 11, 19, 17, we are working with very small numbers. So as I told you that once you are choosing large one, it will be obviously your attempts are going to be increased.
मैम एक बार जस्ट एग्जांपल दे सकते हो लार्ज करके, लाइक पी एंड क्यू
See,
को
we are
लार्ज
not
यूज
going.
करके.
Yes. You take any prime number. Let's say.
10 raised to 9 plus
201.
7.
Sorry.
10 raised to 9 plus 7.
10 raised to.
9 plus 7.
That is
Large
your prime number.
Yes.
मैम इतना लार्ज नहीं, इतना लार्ज नहीं.
Huh, we are not going to. We are not able to do this manually. See. It is not possible, and that is why in the starting I told you that choosing in the exam also you'll be given this kind of numbers only, so that it will be possible for you to calculate the sum.
Ma'am, I was just giving the example of real world prime number.
Yeah, I understand, but then is it possible for you or me to calculate this? Whatever
No,
you
no.
said, yes, then. So by doing the example and proving this is not possible. Right, but what we can do is, yes, we can check that how RSA algorithm is affected by brute force attack. That we can understand.
Ma'am, can you assume like P as 1009 and Q as 53?
Yes, we can assume.
Can we try that then?
Yes, you can. Q is what? 53. Yes, you find n. What will the value of n? Is this prime number?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 1009 and 53. So this is your homework example. Value of n find करो, m को assume करो, okay, e को assume करो, check the value of d also, calculate the value of d, and then you try that if the value of p and q are this, then what will happen or how the attacker is going to decrypt the value or decrypt the message. Okay, this is your next example. And then you compare this with these smaller p and q values. Done. ट्राई एंड चेक ही करना है हमें ये. आ रहा है सबको समझ में क्या करना है?
Yes, ma'am, we're trying.
So you just try this out and we'll discuss on this. Okay. Okay, I have taken your attendance. You may leave the meeting. We'll meet you in the next lectures. Thanks for joining.
Ma'am.